Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a voicemail from my man's Ultimate Rage that is very, very good that I want to dive into. So the question for today is, can Zach Lavine eventually be the best two guard in the NBA? Can he put himself in that conversation? Y'all already know. You got to hear that music first.
Cognac. Gang.
All right, y'all. If y'all like what y'all listening to today, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into today's topic and the voicemail, want to give a quick shout out to Alex Caruso for making the all-defensive team, because he definitely deserves it. Definitely know what Alex Caruso brings to a team. Definitely know what he could bring to a potential championship team if the Bulls get their stuff together. So just want to show some love to Alex Caruso for making an all-defensive team, because it was well-deserved. He played some great defense this past season, and since he's been in the league, that's what he, made his money on. But now I want to move into the voicemail quickly, get through that, and then break down if Zach Lavine can place himself in the conversation as the best two guard in the NBA. So I want to go ahead and play this by my guy, the Ultimate Rage, aka TD Rage, and then we're going to come back and we're going to have this conversation. All right? So here's the voicemail from the Ultimate Rage.
What up, my guys? This your boy, the Ultimate Rage, coming back with another voicemail. So, we've been watching the NBA playoffs, and we have been seeing Devin Booker go crazy. And people are starting to talk about him being the best two guard in the game, which, you would be a fool to disagree with that. However, it's my personal opinion that Zach has the ability to be right there with him. I disagree with you guys' video about giving Zach an A or B season, because he just was not that. However, I would say I understand why you guys said that, because the dude averaged damn near 50, 40, 90. I mean, he was 48.5% from the field, 37.5% from three, 84.8% from the free throw line in the 2023 season. So, in my opinion, this next season, we should be able to see what he's made of. I believe that he has the ability to be an MVP caliber player, and that he could actually lead us to a much better record. He was injured this season, so he didn't start off great, but I believe that he should definitely be all-star caliber, possibly even starting, and he should be in the conversation for best two guard in the league. Let me know what y'all think. I wish I could expound some more, but I'm not trying to get cut off, so love you guys. Stay up. Keep doing your thing. See red, all that. Peace out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you heard the voicemail from the Ultimate Rage, and I just want to break it down, and then we just gonna have that conversation. We're just gonna go ahead and converse, do what we do, and keep it pushing. So first thing first, Ultimate Rage talked about the season grade, and there's definitely a lot to consider when we giving out season grades. I mean, I respect it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these platforms are for, especially this one right here, to have discussion. We don't always have to agree, but it's still love, brother. You already know how we rocking over here. You definitely one of the certified members. And you know what I'm saying? But I definitely will just add on quick bit to say that record does matter. So I definitely understand what you're saying. Record does matter. Individual performance does matter. Team seeding does matter. You know what I'm saying? And we have to consider all the factors before we go out and give a grade to a player. And rightfully so. If you say that my mans don't deserve a B, I'm with you. I can't even argue, because there's definitely a lot of things. It was just from my point of view and Unk's point of view. One of us, I believe, had a higher than the other, but that's why we here to have those conversations. But moving on to the meat and the potatoes of this conversation, can Zach Lavine place himself in the conversation as the best two guard in the league? So I first want to preface this by saying I believe there are tiers to this. You know what I'm saying? I believe the best two guards in the league, take it or leave it. You can dice them up however you want, but the best two guards in the league, flat out, my top two in tier one, it's just two players, Devin Booker and Jaylen Brown. Do you know what I'm saying? Because what they bring to a team, what these guys can do, both of them went, went to the finals, definitely lost it. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. When you think about individual performance, individual performers, that's who you have to consider as least in tier 1. Tier 2 is gonna be, for me, Donovan Mitchell, Zach Lavine, Brad Beal, and then you get into the Anthony Edwards, Desmond Bain. So for me, if we looking at Zach Lavine here per se, he's at least top 5 in my opinion as of right now. You know what I'm saying? Because if we break this further down and look into these players and how they start and everything that we had to consider to even say that these guys are some of the best in the league, we definitely have to look at success. Definitely have to look at individual performance. What do they bring to the table? What type of talent do they have? So that's all things considered. When we look at Jaylen Brown, he came into this league behind a good organization, the Boston Celtics, had a solid team intact, and definitely had some success. I believe just about every single year that he's been in the league, they've been in the playoffs. He's been in Eastern Conference Finals multiple times, even as a young pup. I believe when he was going up against, I believe he was on that team with Isaiah Thomas and them. But nonetheless, he still has some playoff success and even found himself in the finals. If we're looking at Devin Booker, he has some success. Even went to the finals. He did lose the finals, but he did have some success. But let's all keep in mind that this didn't happen until he got Monty Williams. Before Monty Williams came in and the guys started putting wins in the win column, he definitely was not viewed in the best light. I believe he had a game to where he dropped like 70 or something, and people were still saying that he's not a winning player until he got a Chris Paul on his side, good mentor, and who people call the point guard. And then Monty Williams, a very good coach, came in there and was able, to come in and change the culture. So that type of stuff's matter in my opinion. Now, when we looking at some of the others, you know what I'm saying? You look at a Brad Beal. Since John Wall left and they had roster turnover and coaching changes and things like that, Brad Beal haven't done much. You know what I'm saying? I know health is a concern, but we still got to look at the totality. He hasn't done much. He hasn't been able to lead his team to any playoff success since John Wall left. And that's why I always go to roster construction matters. But then we move on to Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, after Devin Booker and Jaylen Brown, is right there. And I got Donovan Mitchell above Zach Lavine. You know what I'm saying? But Donovan Mitchell does have that reputation of not getting it done in the playoffs as well. Yes, a lot of people are going to point to the box score, but if we're looking at the results have not been positive in Donovan Mitchell's favor. He had some good Utah teams where he was the number 1 seed and got bounced early. He had a 3-1 lead against the Denver Nuggets and got bounced out. He had an advantage to go ahead and take down the New York Knicks this season, but granted, some of his teammates didn't show up, but as the best player on that team and as the quote-unquote leader on that team, he was supposed to go ahead and at least, push. I believe the series should have been longer. That's just me. So he had his shortcomings as well. And that bodes the same for Zach Lavine. Zach Lavine last year was a top 10 scorer. I believe this year is still kind of the same. But I believe he did have a drop-off. But we still got to look at Zach Lavine in totality. Does he have the talent? Absolutely. He's a 3-level scorer. You know what I'm saying? He defends when he wants to. He can get out of transition. The problem with Zach Lavine is his mentality to defer all the time to DeMar DeRozan. And I believe that's what hurts him and not place him in that conversation of being one of the best 2 guards in the NBA. He has all the talent. We seen it in the second half of the season. His first step was unstoppable. He could get to the rim at all times. But the thing is what separates the goods from the greats is that the greats, they continue to go. And that's what we've been seeing in the playoffs thus far from Devin Booker. Devin Booker has been on a mission, shooting 70% from the field. I know this is not a whole NBA, about what the hell the 2 guards going is. Well, kind of, and it should be focused more on the Chicago Bulls, but we cannot ignore that. And that's something that Zach Lavine needs to step into. Zach Lavine needs to step into that mentality. Me and we kind of feel like that Zach Lavine was coming into that, and we've seen that when he scored 30 points in the second half of that play-in game against Toronto Raptors. But then we had a head scratcher in the game against the Miami Heat when the game was for the taking in the last 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Zach Lavine disappeared. And that's what hurts him in this conversation, man. That's what hurt. That's right there is what hurts him in the conversation, because all of us will say he's the highest paid player. Don't want to count the man coins. The highest paid player, definitely the best player on the team, but he can't disappear like that in moments when his team needs him. But we also have to understand that shit is not easy, man. It's not easy, and even some of the best players don't show up. You know what I'm saying? Like when we look at a Jaylen Brown, a lot of people will put Jason Tatum over him, but there are also some that will argue that Jaylen Brown shows up more. You know what I'm saying? So it's different things, and we know that players like Brad Beal can ball, but the results just not there either. So I just wanted to put that out there to say that, man, it ain't easy, but these guys, if they want to be considered the best, they got to get it done. And that's just a fact. If you want to be considered one of the best, you have to get it done. That's what it really comes down to. Zach Lavine, he has the game. He has the athleticism. But I would throw in that roster construction matters. Coaching matters. And he has to perform, and that's what it comes down to. That's what it really is. He has to perform. I think on Ultimate Rage's last point, when he talked about the MVP conversation, Zach Lavine can place himself in that conversation, but it is hard. You have to come out guns blazing and ready to roll when the season starts. We understand that he came in this past season injured and then had to get it going as the season waned on. But if he want to be in the MVP conversation, he has to hit the ground running. Me personally, even when Lonzo Ball was on the court and he had a great point guard next to him, he still wasn't in the conversation for MVP because most of the love was being shown to DeMar DeRozan because DeMar DeRozan had one of the best seasons of his career. So DeMar DeRozan was in that conversation. Now, I believe the mantle has been passed. At least we like to believe so. For the second half of the season, I believe that mantle was passed on to Zach Lavine. If the Chicago Bulls can get a solid point guard next to Zach Lavine, whoever they may be, there are some options. I'm not gonna say there's a bunch, but there are some options out there, and he got to perform right out the gate. But the organization also has to construct a roster that's conducive to winning. That's what it's really going to come down to for Zach Lavine to even be in that conversation. But to end it off, I believe he's not the best two guard in the league, but he's definitely top 5 in the league, right behind Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, and Devin Booker. That's how I view it. So y'all let me know how y'all feeling about all that in the comment box below. I got Zach Lavine 4th. When it comes to the top shooting guards in the league, y'all let me know where y'all rank him. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling about everything we discussed today. Did I make sense? Did I not make sense? Let's go ahead and discuss it below. I got nothing but time today. I know some of y'all wondering about the free agent shopping. Had to handle some really, really important stuff, and I don't want to continue and do it without him because I feel like that's something we should be doing together. So appreciate y'all for being on board and rocking with us the entire time. But y'all already know, man, if you want to be a part of any voicemail episode, do what Ultimate Rage did, do what Auntie Goon do what R-Dub does, and send something in to that number, 773-242-9219. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, see red. Y'all already know. We're going to catch y'all on the next one.
Cognac. Gang.